Warning, brave adventurer. This episode of Echoes of Honor may contain adult language or adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody. Hello there. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see your gorgeous faces. We are here. We are playing the Cosmere RPG, our Stormlight Archive campaign, Echoes of Honor. We are very excited to be diving back in shortly. Obviously left on a little bit of a cliffhanger with the party all leveling up after solving a murder mystery. So we're going to go through each of their level ups at the start of this session. You guys have all had a chance to go through. I'm guessing there were no questions because everyone seemed pretty happy. So we're all pretty straightforward. Sweet. We'll go through those level ups and talk through what you guys have unlocked with your next level up. And obviously we had our first potential Radiant class or Radiant path. So we'll talk through that as well once Haz rejoins us. Quick apology tonight. Raph is still feeling unwell from shingles. He's had a bit of a flare-up today after his first full day back at work. So Raph won't be joining us tonight and he needs to rest up so that he can actually go to work for the rest of the week. How depressing is that, man? That sucks. So hopefully he's feeling better soon and hopefully it's not taking too much out of him. I will play the character of Neivien tonight, which is all very well and good. I think I've got that voice pretty much down pat now. It's not as bad as the other voices Raph has thrown me to do for campaigns when he's been absent. Curse of Strahd springs to mind. Yeah. So that's what we will be doing. I'll do the recap and dive us in. Anything fun before we jump in to share? No, everyone's looking happy. Sweet. Done. Well, let us do our recap and then we will go through our level ups and resume from where we left off. Our story has been following the survivors of a brutal attack upon the Bethab caravan, heading from Aelthi to the Shattered Plains. Neivien, Rav-eth, Alaran, Ztar and Hula have found themselves embroiled in the political machinations of the Aelthi from the moment they arrived at the war camps, drawn into investigating a deeper conspiracy involving House Thanadel. With a high storm bearing down on the Shattered Plains, the team met up at one of the public storm shelters, seeking cover just in time, the storm wall smashing into the doors just as the team crossed the threshold. Soon after arrival, however, the team found themselves working with the Colon Guards to help solve a murder, Ztar's Tashik information broker disguise working almost too well. The team launched into a thorough investigation, carefully gathering clues through an examination of the victim's body, interviewing witnesses and following each thread as it came up. Through their efforts, the team determined that the victim, Kavasi, was likely killed by a malfunctioning Fabrial. Initially designed to protect the storm shelter from the damaging winds and force of a high storm, this Fabrial had been transformed by a single cracked gemstone into a dangerous device capable of manipulating pressure in a small localized field. With this revelation narrowing down the suspects considerably, the team brought Ardent's Kess and Eskin in for further questioning. Under the scrutiny of the guards and the evidence put forth by the team, Eskin eventually broke, revealing he had been swapping the gemstones to sell for profit. We left off last session as the team made their final judgment, finding Eskin liable for the death of Kavasi, but deeming it not an intentional murder. And that is where we left off. We are going to jump straight back in to talk through each of your level ups. The end of the session last week concluding with the high storm passing enough that the doors were once again unsealed. The riddens still falling, the trailing rain behind the storm wall still raining down. It's still quite wet outside, but no longer the damaging winds that could kill people. With the doors opened, a few people do make their way out into the rain, braving the riddens. A few members of the Mercantile Guild making their way out, probably go check on stock, make sure their stalls and their marketplace has been undamaged by the high storm, with many of the nobility choosing instead to retire to the comfort and private of their own sections, riding by palanquin back to more safer, more secure, less public locations. So, we jump back in with all of you, left mostly to your own devices, back in the antechamber of the storm shelter. And let's go through really quickly and discuss what each of you has as part of your level up. Now, Ash, we're going to start with you because I already know what your level up entails. You talked to me about it on Messenger. I fully approved. I thought it made a lot of sense for your character. Could you talk us through what you have taken as your path and what it has unlocked, as well as any talents that you've taken as part of your area there, and if there's any bonuses? I think you've all got a bonus to a couple of skills as well. Take us through any of those as well, if there's any that are relevant.
Sure thing. So basically, because of the murder investigation, I really was channeling a lot of awareness in that arc, and so I went for a boost to awareness and then into my first level of agent.
Nice.
So I put some stats into insight and deduction, basically from just observing how the others were just so thoroughly going through the case and following around Rav-eth and Neivien, talking about how the Fabrials were working, and then hearing how the others were talking through the case in terms of questioning subjects and then working through the processes of that. And yeah, so I did that, and because that's the first level of agent, you just get the base feature there, which is opportunist, which means that I can re-roll plot dice once per round.
Which is very, very handy. The agent pathway further splits into investigator, spy, and thief, if I'm remembering correctly. The investigator path in particular, in my opinion, has some really, really nice talents underneath it. I do also like spy and thief. I think some of the later ones for spy are actually quite powerful when used properly, and thief as well has some good stuff. But investigator, like going through it when I first was reading through the modules when they all first came out, I was pretty blown away by like how like consistently good I think each of the talents in the investigator path are. There's some really, really nice ones. Even like the early stuff, like Watchful Eye, where you can re-roll plot dice of willing allies as well, which is quite handy. And being able to figure out people's motivation, using your deduction to work out people's motivation and raise the stakes at will, is pretty handy as well. There's some good stuff you can do, and it all kind of feeds back quite nicely to that ability to re-roll plot dice. It very cleverly like goes back and uses that main talent, the archetype talent, which I'm pretty stoked with. I think it's a really good choice. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I liked it, and also I think Get 'em Talking was the feature that I was like, oh, that looks cool. That's where I would have gone if I was unlocking one. But I think it's really about responding to what's happening at the table for me. So the whole reason I chose that arc, that path, was because of the the deduction and the insight that was happening through that storm shelter scene. So
but I think that's a really good play for the Cosmere RPG, because mechanically it really lends itself to this very flexible character build style where you respond to the events of the world and build your character in response, rather than kind of planning out in minutiae in advance. I think Cosmere in particular, because of the customizability of the character creation, I think that's one of the easiest and probably, in my opinion, one of the best ways to play Cosmere RPG, is to take it as you go, really, and let the world and the choices your character makes shape your level ups. Because at the end of the day, I really don't think there's too much like crazy broken stuff you can do. Like we all know like the Paladin Sorcerer from 5th edition, or Paladin Warlock, or Sorcerer Warlock. They're all Warlock ones, weirdly enough. All those like broken builds that you can do that are like hyper specific, whereas Cosmere seems to be much more, I don't know, like it is quite well balanced, and a lot of the mechanics do play really nice with each other, which is good to see. Nice. I love that, Ash. That's a really solid level up for Alaran. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Rory, what have you done for Hula?
Similarly, following on from the investigation and the murder mystery, I feel like that set Hula's path a little bit, in the sense that he's quite a stoic kind of person. Likes to take a bit of leadership, bit of awareness, but also is happy to take the back seat and follow orders of the younger people, so they're willing to learn. So yeah, I went through and where's it gone? Again, I found some interactions like with the level up quite intermingled for what I was trying to do, if that makes sense. So some of the stuff that I hadn't taken at level 2, I could take now to sort of push me in the direction of what I was sort of thinking in terms of like my attributes to lead into the talents and skills. Yeah, so I went down the tree and I selected Hardy, was the one that I picked. Basically just allows you to have additional health per level. Not a huge thing now, but it leads well into things down the track, I reckon.
It stacks nicely. It's almost like what's the 5th edition feat? Tough.
Yeah, tough. I just thought that was a good one, because one thing I noticed so far, a lot of my other stuff do use a lot of focus points. So something that was just more of a passive sense would allow me to feed in well into the next step.
Yeah. And action economy is something I think that it is worth paying attention to in Cosmere. I think it's very easy to especially once we start going online with investiture as well. You're tracking focus points, investiture points, and in some cases other things as well. Having a solid grasp of the action economy and your economy of focus points and investiture makes a lot of sense. Having a solid health pool always is good. It never is a problem.
Definitely. Especially when I am much more in the melee sort of space. So
you're the front line at the moment, I think, Hula.
Yeah.
Most other people here don't want to be too close to the front from the looks of things. Rav-eth, what have you done for Rav-eth? What is Rav-eth's level up?
Great question. Probably a surprise to absolutely no one. Rav-eth is continuing down the path of the surgeon. So I have unlocked field medicine, which is very cool. I can basically dish out healing for only 1 focus point rather than 2. And also, even on a fail, I do still give some healing. On the advantage, that's when I get to add my medicine stat to the healing on top of the D4, I believe it is. Yes,
yeah, I think
D4.
so.
Yeah. So it ends up being, and I think it's a recovery die is 1d4 plus 3. So I'm always going to be giving some healing, which is really, really good. I think for a healer, that's quite strong. And I also have, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I have collected as well, which is increase your cognitive and spiritual defenses by 2. So
I was just about to point out that's, I think, a pretty solid choice for anyone playing that pathway. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think collected gets used in a couple of the other pathways. I think some of the other paths get access to that one, but it's a very, very good one. So because it's not necessarily just physical threats that we'll be facing. There's also going to be other threats. So it's good to be shielded both body and soul.
Absolutely. And I'm looking down the path. That leads nicely to resuscitation. Spend 3 focus when using field medicine to revive an unconscious character or one who died recently. That might come in handy at some point or another.
Pretty good. I don't know. I'm not mind reader or any one thing, but
look,
I think it could be good.
If last campaign is anything to go by, the only time any of us die is if Raph tries to like 1v1 taunt the bad guy. We're basically immortal as far as I can tell, because Owen don't have the stones to kill us. So use the talent, don't even bother.
There you go. Useless talent, don't even bother, is the advice from House. Yeah, don't have the spheres. Yeah. And I would love to talk through your level up, Has.
Spheres are done.
Spheres are done. The spheres are done. I don't know what to tell you. I guess that's the case. Now, Has, there's no point talking through your level up yet because we need to roleplay that. We will go through that in a moment. And also, you don't get it because you just go to... No. We'll go through in a second.
Sorry,
awesome
I'll
sauce.
be good.
So, where we had left off... as we dive back into the action, in that moment as you all wait around for the storm to finish blowing over, for the riddance to pass and to avoid getting completely soaked to the bone, the guards lead Eskian out, taking him away towards you're assuming either the Colon War Camp or maybe up towards the Palace District, up towards the Palace Camp, so that he can be placed in prison. You're not sure exactly what the plan is yet. With Elindri leading the charge and taking this prisoner away, your last kind of glimpse of what's happening is him being led off. Hands shackled, head bowed, looking for all the world, very resigned to his fate as a result of your undeniable evidence being shown to him and to the guards. A few moments later, as you wait around, you watch as Ardent Kess approaches you all, notes bundled up in a folio, wrapped in leather-bound folio strapped to her waist. You can see that she has a span reed that she tucks away into a top pocket as she approaches, looking tired, looking haggard, dark rings under her eyes, looking resigned. And as she approaches all of you, making her way out of the storm shelter, she stops and heads on over. I just wanted to thank you all for helping uncover what was happening with Eskian and with my Fabrial designs. I can't even begin to imagine what would have happened if you had not figured out what was going on. How many lives could have been lost? How many people could have been hurt? I just wanted to thank you.
you're welcome for the assistance, but in the future, try to retain more control over designs and engineering attempts if you know that there's the potential for misuse. This could have been avoided if you had have taken a stronger hand in what he was doing. I struggled to believe that it couldn't have been no signs that he was doing something untoward, or at least that he had no real favorable knowledge. I understand fighting back against your superiors can be challenging, but to do what is right, sometimes one must do what is challenging.
You're right. Your words are harsh, but fair. I need to take a step back from this project for the time being until I can figure out how to proceed forwards, how to have a stronger hand in things. You are right. I should have trusted my instincts more. I knew something was wrong. I felt something was wrong, and I didn't do anything about it. Nothing meaningful.
Don't
let my Tashiki friend here scare you away from the path that you are on. I believe I speak on behalf of Neivien here. Sorry if I am speaking out of tongue, but I believe that you have a good mind for this sort of thing, and it would be a shame if the world is not able to share in your inventions. So I believe that you should continue this path. But yes, maybe you take a bit better care in choosing your partners.
That was much what I was going to say. Do not take a step back. From what we've seen, the designs have the capacity to help, to protect people that need protection. To take a step back would be to slow their protection down, and that in itself causes harm by delay.
But I can't in good conscience install any of these devices until I have a way to prevent tampering, to prevent this from happening again. I'm going to speak with Bright Lady Navani as soon as I can get another appointment with her, explain all that had happened, be open, be honest with what has occurred, and there needs to be some changes before we can proceed with this. Significant changes with how it is installed, with how it is managed, with how it is checked. It relies too much on trust, on trusting people to be looking over things, to be looking after it, and that cannot be the case, as you have shown. I trusted the wrong person, and a man is dead.
Kess, you're right. And you won't forget this, you will remember this. And hopefully by focusing in on what has gone wrong here today, you will remember not to fall into the same trap. You have learnt the lesson. I can hear it. And I was speaking truthfully. If there is anything that can be done from the Bethab house, what we have seen here, I will speak to that. They will have interest in something like this, and your work here has resulted in death, but there's still hope.
Thank you. If there's anything that I can help with, you can find me at the markets. The back section, there's a workshop for members of the Ardentia. I will be there. I have no other way to repay you apart from my skills and my knowledge in the crafting of fabrials. If there's anything I can do to help, please come and let me know anytime. I owe you all a debt of gratitude, more than just words, more than just actions, but I will do what I can.
No problem.
That she nods, clasps her belongings close to her, wrapping her meager shawl around them, and makes her way out into the riddens, leaving you all alone once again in the storm shelter antechamber. So the question is, what would you guys like to do? You've got it's sort of getting later into the afternoon, early evening now, with the storm having passed. The camps will probably be coming alive once again. If you wanted to head back to Bethab's War Camp, that's certainly an easy option, not too far a walk. If there's anything else you wanted to do in the markets will take probably an hour to fully reopen after the storm. They have to be fully packed up every time a high storm approaches, and assess for damage. But the markets will be open again in about an hour. If there's anything that you needed, anything you wanted to do, I hand over to all of you. What would you like to do?
Captain Lurin, what happened to him?
That is an excellent question. The last you saw, he was also being escorted away by the Colon guards.
Sweet.
Not sure where that potentially is headed or what's going to happen with that. That's an interesting one. You did gather enough evidence and material evidence to show that he was involved with the black market. Alindri had said he was going to present that to his superiors. Apart from that, you're not sure what else is happening there.
As long as he seems to be on his way towards consequences, I can in good conscience leave that there then.
There are consequences coming for him, for sure. It seems. Yeah, what would you guys like to do? The shattered plains are yours once again.
Before we even leave the storm shelter, I feel like the tight wrap up of the case with the conviction, I guess, of Eskian and Lurin to a second degree, we're very aware that like nearly every single person was discussing or implicated in crime, black market trade, but it was just about who had done the killing. And Alaran's found it hard to move on from the chamber with the body, even though he had not looked at it the whole time. He seems really fixated on like the body itself, and is just unperceptibly just zooming in on that in the center of the room where the body is or has been, and he's kind of like a little bit unresponsive for a period of time there as things seem to be wrapping up.
What are you thinking about, Alaran?
I'm just trying to put the pieces together and they don't fit.
How so?
Well, we know that Kavasi and Lurin were having a heated argument, but we still don't know why. Jostin and his guards were harassing Relna. Relna seems to owe Kavasi. Kavasi owes Jostin. There was a lot of money exchanged here. And I think someone did benefit from the death. They don't have to pay back a debt.
That depends on who owns the line of credit from Kavasi. I'm sure someone will come to collect that debt unless it was completely off the table. I know that light-eyed man in there, that he had an off the table debt which now will never be reclaimed. But
yeah, Justin.
No.
But then I was thinking, Eskian was looking for the cheap source of gemstones, but Kavasi was Kess's source.
I mean,
Kavasi was looking for a cheap second source.
I mean, it sounds like Kavasi was probably just a middleman. There could be other sources out there we're not aware of. Maybe Gark was looking into something like that, I remember him saying. Could be worth asking him if he's made any progress on that. I mean, do you want to take these burdens up yourself to follow through, or how do you feel about this?
This is not my thing. It's just, we've done a good thing today, but I think it's I think there's more pieces here. It's messy. Yeah.
I'm inclined to, at the very least, there's a black market that's operating illegally out of these war camps that could be investigated, and shady deals were going around left, right, and center through that wealthier people's quarters at the back of that storm shelter. So whether or not there was more to this man's murder than happenstance and greed by Eskin, I'm unsure, but there is more wrongdoings there that we can tug on the threads should we need to. There's also still that whole thing that we got an attempted assassination that we were meant to be looking into. So, I mean,
yeah, I've been forgetting that.
And you still don't know where Ralanat is either.
Yeah, and staring back at the body, yeah, I don't think I've stopped thinking about the assassination attempt, and I don't know what the right thing to do for the group is, but I think even if that you all want to do different things, I think it's important that I take up the Bethab position.
Oh.
I think that, and I turn to, to Ztar and gesture. Maybe we are allies, but maybe our group represents or presents ourselves from different forces.
What do you mean?
It was very good that your position assisted us, and I want to do that too for Bethab. I wear this clothing to represent my house, but I think the title and the work is important too, and I think I would like to become this Bethab investigator.
The costume certainly was helpful, but look, in my experience, doing something for the Light Eyes of Alethkar leads to unhappy endings. If you're going to become this investigator, do it for yourself, not for Bethab. And your decision is your own, but from my recently lived experience, there's no price that's worth freedom. And while working for someone's not quite the same as being a literal possession, it's still a step down in freedom. So your choice is your own there, but Alaran, but make it for yourself, not for Bethab. I know your house swears fealty to him as the High Prince, but if you think that any of the High Darn Light Eyes really care about you, I think you'll be disappointed.
Oh, it's not that. I need to know why we got attacked in the caravan. I keep on remembering everything that's happened to us so far, and I need the answers to those things.
Well, then let's get investigating. I would actually, at that point, like to do my thingy for once. I'd like to do the thingy.
The thingy?
The thingy.
Woo!
He's a special thingy.
I'm rapping. Sorry, one sec.
Are you're not changing form, are you?
No. I'm doing the Seek Quarry.
Nice.
I'd like to choose a character to be my quarry, gaining advantage on tests to find, attack, or study them. I've seen that assassin running away, and there's the Light Eyes biddy from the caravan.
Ralanat, yep.
Right, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Who would we like to find? Do we want to find her, or do we want to find the assassin?
Assassin.
I think the assassin.
Then I would like to set my quarry as the assassin and begin sleuthing.
Alrighty, so you still will need some sort of trail to follow, but if you wanted to, I'd be happy for you to roll a deduction check right now, going by what information you had at the time, the direction they ran off, using your new feature.
That's a starting point.
Yeah,
technically not featured, but I would have known at least where he was going, I've been around these markets a fair bit now, where someone of shady rapport would try to hide himself away. Putting those two things together, at least give us a direction to go on there.
Yeah, fantastic.
I shall deduce.
I have a question on that. Are there like fabrials for tracking? Like more like sleuthing or divination here, I guess, where you have and you put on a gem?
Not so much for because each of them will operate on like a physical principle, so it'd need to be something that they're doing that would be like a physical thing rather than like I just know where this person is, or so there might be a fabrial that can help like enhance sight to magnify things that you look through.
I reckon if we got a bit of them, like their hair or their blood or something.
Yeah, you could make something with that for sure.
Together.
Yeah, Dean might be able to help you with that.
17.
I like that.
Pretty good.
Also, in case anyone hasn't worked it out, to make the advantage work, when you click the advantage button, you then have to click which of the dice you want to roll with advantage. So make sure you click the dice, and then have a little A, and then it rolls that with advantage, which is the green number there. So you only get the one higher roll. But
that's cool.
That makes sense. And that is how it is explained in the rules. So I guess, that makes perfect sense.
What was your low roll? Did it tell you?
Doesn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Lower than 15.
That was a rubber band I just pulled out of Teddy's esophagus. You cheeky boy. He's like trying to grab the PlayStation remote too. He's having a grand old time next to me here. He's in that phase as a puppy where he's like, everything goes in my mouth. I don't care what it is, but whatever it is, it's in my mouth. And then we'll see how we go from there.
I remember that.
Ztar, as you think back to the last sort of moments watching the assassin run away, they were headed south from the war camp, which means that really there's quite a lot of places they could be headed to. The market is south of Bethab's war camp. Most of the other war camps are south of Bethab's war camp, so the heading by itself doesn't give you a crazy amount of information. But with your newly acquired knowledge of the market layout and knowing that if they're headed to another war camp, really the only option there is if they were sent by Thanadel's war camp. And only an idiot would have assassins regroup at the war camp where they were hired if it was tied back. This is pretty dumb shit stuff, which means that it's going to have to be somewhere neutral, most likely. The market makes a lot of sense, or one of the outer districts around it. There is a very good chance that there are places in and around the market, even further away, sort of along the high road a little bit, where there could be a good hidey hole for someone to reconvene and regroup. But the market is not a bad place to start. One problem you're likely to encounter, though, a high storm just rolled across the plains. There may not be much physical evidence that you can track to be able to find out where they are. But asking around, doing a bit of canvassing would do you well here. Same for finding Ralanat. These are all things you could do. Ask around, see who recognizes her. She's a recognizable figure.
Yeah, I guess I relay that to the team, and I guess we want to start there. The markets are a good enough place. Either the markets or, even there might be a hint to Relinat as well. Well, if we turn up nothing for this assassin,
are you gonna
go door to door and say, "Have you seen any assassins?" And if they say no, then we move to the next door.
That's a good plan. Are you going to stay in your disguise, or are you going to revert?
I think I'll actually revert at this point, because I think Tashiki information broker going around clearly canvassing for information is not a good look. I should already either have the information or like people aren't going to give me that for free. So I think I'll probably go incognito as a parchment, and we can see if I can learn anything under that disguise.
Otherwise, with a 17, Ztar, your Tashiki information broker disguise seems to be working really well. You could potentially, maybe through Gark and through his contacts, use that shop front as a location for people to contact your Tashik alter ego, your Tashik false identity, your false ami, and be able to find information that way. If you put out a few words and a few locations, say, look, if you have information on these people, this Tashik information broker will pay you spheres. That news and gossip is going to get around pretty quickly. Could potentially be an avenue for you finding out information without having to lift a finger.
I think that's a great idea. I think we need to name my Tashiki. Do the information brokers usually have like names?
They'd use a pseudonym to operate under, for sure.
Yes. What should we call me?
Is there any rule into the pseudonyms?
No. Yeah, I think you can go with whatever you want. As far as I'm aware, there's no like set ruling for this. This is all up to you guys.
Tazi.
Tazi is good.
Tazi it is.
Tazi? How would you like that spelled?
Yeah, well... T-A-Z-I.
Tazi. All right, done. I'll make a note.
No, so shall we... I think that's a good plan. I mean, we can see if Gark and his friends will let us do that. We can set up a shop for Tazi. Anyone wants to drop off information, we can say they'll be rewarded, particularly if their information leads to assassins or rather than that. And then we can do some door knocking ourselves.
Do we have the spheres to facilitate this information, or is this just a front?
Front, mostly, I think. I mean, Gark might have spheres.
I just don't want to incur the wrath of anyone who might be willing to get their due.
Well, I mean, I don't think people would come to a Tashiki information broker free of charge, and hence why I was considering abandoning the disguise before some all-powerful entity gave me a different idea.
Your own subconscious considered an alternative option.
But I mean, we have some spheres. If the information's worth it, I mean, how many spheres would you pay to work out to find information on who the assassins is?
I mean, it's kind of what we're hoping for. This is like the main motivator at the moment, I think. So, I guess we got to do what we got to do, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Right to Gark's. I mean, I've been. I can guide the way back to Gark's Emporium.
Yeah, I'm happy to unless there's something specific you wanted to talk to Gark about. I'm happy to speed through this. Gark is there. Gark is absolutely keen to chat. Tazo is there as well. Tazo is happy.
Tazo and Tazi.
Yep.
Tazi.
Tazo's happy to take on the role of the Tashik information broker whenever you're not there, Ztar. They have enough supplies to be able to make at least a passable half covering. Then if he sits behind a veil or a curtain or behind a sort of a ratcheted door, he might be able to pass himself off as information broker. He's much more the same build as you than Gark is. Gark's quite a broad gentleman. So Tazo's happy to take on that role. In fact, Tazo is very, very on board with this idea. He thinks that it's a brilliant idea to be able to set up a Tashik information brokerage out of their shop. They are also looking for information. They're looking for information on the gemstone that's gone missing as well. And Gark is very, very keen to work on this. He's already made some contacts in the outer market, already reconnected with some old Thalen merchant friends. this is absolutely a go. And Gark promises to contact you back at the Bethab War Camp when he has any news at all, either via span read. Actually, that's a good point. He and Neivien would probably have a span read at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gark does... Yeah, so Gark will give Neivien a span read to him so that he can contact Neivien privately and immediately if there's any information and pass it straight to you. So you don't even need to come back necessarily.
Excellent. Probably just be careful how far you spread this Tashiki information broker rumor, though, because I feel like they might not take so kindly to fake brokers popping up. But
I'll be very careful. We'll make sure we go through the correct channels and make sure Teddy really likes that voice. Make sure we go through the correct channels and pick only the trustworthy sources. And I'll make sure that if news gets around, it's good news only for us. Nothing that could come back and be a problem.
all right, then, friends, let's get out into the market. And I'll quickly strip off the Tashiki rags, stow them away, and I'm back to Passionate.
Fantastic. Alrighty. With night beginning to descend upon the plains, the moon's beginning to rise, Nomon rising high above the sky. As you make your way back towards the Bethab War Camp, you arrive with the Bethab War Camp fully unpacked after the high storm has rolled across and the night shift just beginning. You are recognized, again, Alaran. The description of you and your companions has certainly gotten around camp, particularly you and your uniform, which is in Bethab's colors. You are recognized at the gate and gestured straight through to the barracks that you've been occupying for the last night. And as you make your way back there and get ready for the evening, Ztar, as the others all begin to head inside, with the night sky above you, the clouds having moved on from the high storm's passing, patch of starlight seems to glimmer for a moment, shifting before moving down, hovering right in front of you. The edges of it shifting and changing, this almost diamond-like cut in the air. The edges smoke-like, hazy, and on the inside, stars twinkle and burn. You've seen this spren before now, a few times.
I know what you represent, Spren, if not exactly what Spren you are. But you have pulsed with rhythms of justice and what is right, and I've felt that resonate. I know the words.
You have sought justice. That is good. The words. You must speak the words.
Life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination.
These words are accepted. And with that, as I attempt to turn the voice changer off, while Teddy grabs my arm and begins chewing it, as you speak the words, Ztar, you feel a surge of energy, a pulse within you. And as you breathe in this sudden sharp breath, you watch as one of the lanterns on the wall next to you goes dark. This rush of blue glow, the stormlight pulled straight in a single breath. You feel it burn within you, the urge to move, to act, to run, to jump. Something has changed, something fundamental. And as you feel that glow within you, that burning light within you, your skin glows softly with the luminescent stormlight, trailing away, wisps of it leaking out of you. Ztar, you may take a level as a Skybreaker. Would you like to take us through what your Radiant Path grants you access to? Division and...
Gravitation.
Gravitation, thank you. Had a brief brain fart there. I was about to say the other one. That's the Windrunner one. Division and gravitation. Would you like to take us through what you get access to?
Yes. So, well, I'm empowered to the end of that scene. But
let's use that empowered later on then, because it's not very fair to give you empowered and then have you take a long rest. We'll have that empowered kick into effect a little bit later.
Yeah. I gain both division and gravitational surges. So for division, I now have a 2-action, basically an attack. So I can spend an investiture to make a melee attack against their spiritual defense for some damage. And if they die, they crumble into dust. I can also target an object and break it apart like that. For gravitation, I can fly. Basically, that's essentially how it breaks down mechanically. I can infuse myself or another willing person or object and give them a fly speed.
Now, one of the things that we will do, similar to how the books show this, is your fledgling powers. As you learn to use them, it'll be a little bit of like testing and learning as you go. It won't just be instant flight per se, but it will be like you've got access to the surge. So the idea is I want to not mechanically stifle you. I want to have it be like narratively
100%.
Without being mechanically stifling. So it'll be a little bit of like testing and learning as this learning with these powers as you go along. You do so normally if this was a high sprint, and maybe we should roleplay this a little bit first, a little bit more. But you do get access to division, unlike a Skybreaker whose spren is different to yours. Your spren is a little bit unique in this instance, and that is why you get access to division straight away. Normally you would not as a Skybreaker. In fact, I don't think you'd gain access to any. Oh no! The first was granting you access to gravitation, and then division's the second oath, isn't it?
Yeah, division at 3.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's actually later again.
Well, it's not that you don't have access to it; just that
you're not.
Spren don't let you.
Yeah, the spren are like, don't use this. Yeah. As the stormlight puffs away and begins to slowly leak out of you, the spren seems to coalesce somewhat, Ztar. The light getting stronger, the stars glinting behind its surface, behind the surface of this sort of rend in space, stronger and brighter. The spren vibrates for a moment, humming to the rhythm of awe, and then switching to the rhythm of contentment. This was right. This was good. This is justice. For your people to speak the words.
I'm probably a little like taken aback at that and touched. It's been a long time since that aspect of justice has been like I've kind of even like allowed myself to consider that, and maybe it's not fair that my entire people is left to fend for themselves on a crappy, broken, desolate plane. But thank you, Brent. Do you have a name? How should I call you? I will live up to your expectations, even though I do know what you being here means in a broader sense.
I am 4201333769, and I am no longer welcome amongst my people. I am outcast.
I see in that we are more alike than we are different. Is that the number you were born in, or what? Your name is a number?
Yes, it is far more efficient than the words you, Parshmen and humans, use to designate yourselves. A number is far more efficient.
All right. Well then, 4201333769. We may need to keep you more hidden. I don't know how much you'd know, but you draw some interest from the humans around us.
Yes. One of your number, I think, can see me. Sometimes. Should humans not see me?
I think the ones around us, our friends, will be fine to see you. The other humans, I mean, if they already know that I'm not a dull, mindless slave, they would probably make me a mindful slave, or just straight up kill me. You would be an obvious tell that I'm not like the other Parshmen. Not to mention that if you are back, that means our gods are returning, and if our gods are returning, then the humans will be doing something about this.
They are. Your people already tried to stop this. That is why I came. A king was killed. Justice. But it was not enough.
I see. So what that listener told me earlier today was true. They did kill the king with that as the intention.
I remember much discussion. I was ordered to act, ordered to come across. I disobeyed part of my order. It was not justice. It was not right.
I think my people being murdered on these plains for stopping the gods from returning is also not justice, but I think together we will find true justice in the world, or at least bring whatever aspect of that we can.
You must be careful. I remember something. You will be hunted. I will be hunted. We will be hunted for this if we are spotted by my kind and another. He will not suffer my disobeying, nor the bond we have just made. You must be careful.
Probably good reason to hide from me then.
Yes, I will hide. Seek justice, Ztar. Your path will be very hard, but I will be with you.
420133769. Do you know what is just? The law isn't justice. I tried to do everything within the law, and legally I was sold as a slave, as someone's possession. So the law can't be all there is. But without that, how do we know what is justice or vengeance? For those who have wronged me, I feel such anger, but to strike them down with no process isn't justice either, as much as I would like to pretend that it is.
The laws are imperfect, for they are of man and of Parshman, of listener, but they are a good starting point. Use the laws as your guide, young one. Start there. Discover justice. It may be written between, may be beyond what the laws cover. But start there.
All right, I will start there. Now, please, you should maybe hide yourself within my carapace, and we should return to the others before someone notices something's amiss.
Yes, I will hide myself. Ztar, you are not alone.
I appreciate that. Together then. We'll take this journey together.
Together. We may not be alone either. And with that, I'm getting there. And with that, you watch as your new high sprint, 4201333769, moves swiftly, joining on to your carapace, sliding between two of the gaps in your shoulder blades and vanishing from view, Ztar. Perfect. With that, unless there's anything you guys wanted to do in the evening, you all have the opportunity for a long rest. I believe the plan was potentially to interrogate some of the assassins who had attacked you in the morning. So you've got time for a long rest if you'd like it now. Or you could go straight to them. They are there. You could go straight to them now.
The only other thing level up wise that I want to, I think everyone got an expertise as well.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Is there any, like, I feel like mechanically the weapons and armor are the better ones to take because they give you actual mechanical benefits, but
cultural's pretty sick too.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking a utility one, and I was thinking maybe animal care, but I've also realized that now that I have the Skybreaker tree, it's going to be spreading those attribute the talent points pretty thin as it is before getting down that tree as well. So I'm actually drawing a bit of a blank on what an expertise I would have. I mean, is there? Could I take Tashiki cultural expertise? Actually,
yes, 100% you could. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do with expertise, and really it's up to us to come up with the nuances of them, because there are essentially an infinite number of expertises. It's whatever you want to be proficient in, and you can be as specific as you want or as vague as you want. And just keep in mind that'll change the dice rolls and change the dice challenge rating that you'll need to get through. But Tashik, if you want to get like Tashik cultural expertise, for sure, and that might give you some information about how the Tashik operate. Maybe one of the things you get from Gark is like a breakdown of how the Tashik spy networks and information brokers are set up. Maybe a scholar has written a book on this, and you can have someone read that to you at a time of your choosing when you are free, or have because we discussed this, because you're a listener spy who's been in the Aelthi camps. You probably wouldn't know how to write or read either, would you?
Well, I left not so much to spy. I just went to find the world and ended up working as a bounty hunter for a while. But yeah, I don't think I would have learned to read solely because no Aelthi would have taught me, and I don't think the listeners do. So no, I wouldn't know how to read.
Neivien would be happy to read to you then, if you've got a little book or treatsy that's been written that Gark gets his hands on. If you want to take Tashik cultural expertise, that means that you know how the Tashik information brokers operate. You know rough prices for things. It gives you that kind of information that you kind of need to fill in those gaps to continue this facade.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I was going to throw it to the group and see if there are any other suggestions, but that came to me as I was kind of having that thought. So yeah, I guess I'll take that as my last thing for the level up.
Nice. I think that makes a lot of sense. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Cool.
Perfect. Anything else before a long rest?
Yeah. I was going to ask. We were talking in the market about paying for things. And Alaran's very aware that he has only what he's carrying on him, and that's 27 marks.
Yeah, you guys are not flush with spheres right now.
No.
Ash doesn't know what 27 marks can do. Alaran would, but I imagine that he would have kept those very quiet in the, we don't have much money, because he doesn't have a coin pouch of, sorry, not a coin pouch, a sphere pouch of
A sphere sack.
Sphere sack.
They come in sacks.
Yeah. I can help you out there. So like a backpack, for example, would set you back 8 marks. A bottle of wine anywhere between half a mark to 50 marks. Depending on the quality of the wine. A breastplate, we're looking at 120 marks. So think it's actually the conversion rate. Thinking about it as gold in D&D is actually not too far off the mark. It's actually pretty, or maybe half. See what I did there? That was so intentional. So that's not a bad way to kind of think about it. Is that it's kind of like half the value of, it's double the value of a gold. So 2 gold is 1 mark if you're thinking like D&D terms and you're used to D&D. But you guys are not flush with cash right now, and the solving of the crime, while morally feels great. Your sphere bags, there's no more heft to them now than there was prior. Is the official terminology.
They do not hang low.
They do not hang as low as you would like them to. They do not wobble to and fro. You probably are looking for a bit of change in that, and you do know that signing on with Bethab as his chief investigator, you do know that does come with some spheres and some access to resources that otherwise you might not have. That's the catch, right? You might get things you need, but it might cost you things you need as well.
Yeah,
integrity, independence.
That knowledge of this opportunity / title, Alaran probably would talk to Neivien as someone he knows from before and knows kind of like the context of what that means and that work would look like. Asking for her advice in whether signing up for that job is going to stop us from following this cause fully, like following our path fully.
It's going to be tricky. I mean, I could use some spheres as well. There's some designs I'd like to put into practice. Some fabules I think I could make that'd help us out. But I don't really have the funds or the money for it right now. But just keep in mind that you're selling a piece of yourself for that extra heft. It's I know, I'm sorry. I know how uncomfortable this makes Ash, and that's why I'm doubling down. Sometimes you just gotta work the shaft. No, sometimes it's just gonna be, it's just gonna be tricky. We're gonna have to. I mean, there's gonna be times where we're gonna have to do things for money, for favors, for other things. It's just the way of the world. I think this is one of those times where if you think the benefits outweigh the potential risks or outweigh the detriments, then it's an okay decision to make.
I just worry that we need money and influence to get things done here, and I don't want us in the Shattered Plains sifting through the remnants of fallen caravans and I just gesture at like the 26 marks that I've got. I'm like, this money can't come out because it's my life. It's all that we have. It's all I have.
There is another option. I don't think you're going to like it. We do know that there are chances of winning shards or even a gem heart, getting a share of the spoils if we join on a plateau run. I'm not saying that's something you want to do or something you're prepared for, but I did hear a lot of the soldiers talking, and they get paid pretty well whenever they're able to win a gem heart. Like, very well. And a number of the Light Eyes, they princes and members of the higher families, they go out on these things. Might be an option for all of us as a team. Maybe, I don't know, just... I wouldn't mind seeing a chasm fiend up close personally for my own investigations. Maybe not that close, but imagine what kind of fabrials I can make with a gem heart. Anyway, could be another way that we could look at getting some spheres.
this thread, as she speaks this line of possibility, Alaran just like gets more and more sour and like unsettled through this conversation. And
let's see if Neivien picks up on that. I'll roll. Raph's shown that Nevien's not necessarily.
I don't think he's going to have a very good poker face. He's not got deception in this moment. I think it's just true. This is the reason he's here.
In that case, then Neivien will just get it and be like,
yeah.
Or you could enter some of the duelings. I know that there are people put money and bet on fights. We could participate. I mean, not me, obviously. Again, I don't have a shard blade or anything, but you could participate in a duel and wager something, and if you win, you might even win a blade.
Yeah.
Although I think you have to. I think most people wouldn't bet a blade against just like 26 marks. You might need something that's worth a bit more to be able to enter that particular competition. Or we could steal stuff. I mean, clearly the black market's thriving here. I'm just saying, there's an opportunity there as well. We know a certain storm shelter. We know certain storm shelters fit out with the best gemstones worth lots of money. I mean, if we could find where what was his name, Lurin? If we could find where
that Fabrial that's in that storm shelter doesn't need those gems anymore. It's gonna get dismantled. So.
And Captain Lurin, I mean, that prick. He was involved in money and spheres trading places. Maybe we could go find his stuff. Didn't he owe money? We could just... Oh, no. Someone owed him money. Or no, was it the other way around?
They're all stealing from each other.
Yeah, maybe we just go take from him or one of the other ones who's a bit of a dick. Well, nah, he had spheres. He don't need those spheres. What about them spheres? He don't need those.
Alaran basically just communicates that those sound like good options, but that he knows he's not fit for that. When we got to the camp and I said of why I was here, they said that was a crazy statement, that for me to have been sent to the Shadow Plains to win a shard blade or enter a duel is something to laugh at as a concept.
Alaran, you did propose the thought of formally joining House Bethab as an investigator. Is that still something you're considering?
I think it is. Every other option is thievery or a feat that I just can't do. I'm not going to fight a great beast on the Shattered Plains. I'm not set for the front. I can't do those things. And I've done dueling, and yeah, I have a nickname back home because of it. And it's not Alaran the winner all the time. It's Alaran away because
Oh,
and the DM feels bad about giving that nickname in the second episode. But
I love it. It's so fitting too. What you re-own it. And Naivine's like probably would nod to that because that's something she would know, that like essentially he's one of the kids that goes out and does the dueling feats, but like just keeps getting put back in the dueling ring, and every single fight he can barely lift a sword.
I mean, you know as well as anyone else that there are different ways to win a fight. You don't often have to prove yourself in the theater of conflict. I mean, perhaps in a Lethkar culture, it is a little bit more straightforward, less grey. But yes, I am considering it as well. Not that I am one to tie myself down too long, but it does appear that may be the best way of at least garnering some spheres to be able to fund whatever we need to do here, whatever work needs to happen here.
Maybe we do this on a temporary basis. We don't make any agreement that locks us in for more than we're comfortable. Maybe we start this off on a probation we kind of set up. I mean, they seem pretty pretty easy going for the most part. I think we could probably convince Darla that maybe we only do this for a short period of time just to see if this suits us and see if we suit them. And if it doesn't suit both parties, then we go our separate ways.
What do they gain from having all of us? My thinking is I already have ties with Bethab. Becoming an examiner, yeah, I don't mind the idea of doing it contract to contract, but do they get anything from us all being signed into those contracts? Is it not an opportunity for you guys to go on a different path if we were to find that the examiner position was more restrictive than we realized? If I took a position and you were my associates, or from the perspective of the Bethab, my team, do you think that would be something that would fit the system that the Bethab is promising?
Light Eyes normally like to hold someone responsible when something goes wrong, and it's normally just one person. From my experience, you're taking on a bit of a risk here, Alaran. You'll be the face, the one that gets, if things go wrong or something happens, you'll be the one wearing the risk, and there could be consequences for your family. But I mean, personally, I'm happy not to be in trouble when something happens. We can all just run away.
I mean, This is the game. There are risks in everything. It's just a matter of what you decide is right. I mean, for me, I stand to gain the knowledge that House Bethab has within its libraries, or whether beneath around its within its camp at least. That would be of benefit to me and my endeavors. And if I can provide that back to the party as some sort of advantage or some sort of skill that I can teach you all, then that would be of course that would be a boon, surely.
Yeah, well, you're one of very few people who can read, which is strange to me still, but yeah.
Yes.
I think that we all bring different skills into this, and I think, yeah, I'm happy to take that position and wear that responsibility, Neivien. I don't worry about tarnishing the family name.
Okay. Then if you're comfortable with it and if it's what you want to do, then I think maybe we go and put our names forward. And again, like, bring me with you. I can talk through maybe a contract of sorts with Darla. You'll need a scribe there with you anyway.
Yeah, I think you, me, and Rav-eth should definitely be the face for that. Rav-eth.
I was wondering if maybe Ztar and his Tashiki information broker disguise could be useful too. Although maybe we don't want them to know that we've got... Maybe that's not something we want to reveal. Maybe that's good to keep to ourselves.
I don't think a Tashiki would probably indenture themselves in such a way to a noble house in Alathkar.
I'm worried about if there are people watching. No, we still don't know why the caravan was attacked, but if it was for one of us, it wasn't me, but if someone was a target and then we are identified as the survivors by assassins, they're looking for a very distinct party. And
plus, I think having our Tassie friend here gives us an advantage. The House Bethab aren't exactly aware of his existence. They know of Ztar, but Tassie is a wild card in the scheme of things. That could be a bit of an advantage that we have against everyone in the camps.
He can be a face when we're not using mine. I'm hoping that the rest of you can disappear from sight to the people who that matters.
I think that sounds all right to me. I'm on board.
Hula, do you have any other ideas for making money before we go ahead and pledge ourselves to House Bethab?
Well, I think that lie detecting Fabriel would fetch a lot of money into the right people.
Oh, Hula, I'm so sorry. I've done a cheeky bamboozle. This just lights up when I want it to. That's it. I was lying about the lie detector.
Oh. Well,
I'm so sorry.
Really fooled me. Perhaps we could fool other people.
Yeah, look, I can show you. Like, I was lying about this being a lie detector. And you watch as it doesn't light up. And then she goes, "This is a lie detector." And then it lights up. See? I was lying.
But it worked.
No. Oh, Hula. Oh, boy. No, it's...
Some kind of sorcerer.
we can... Look, maybe I could... I mean, look, I could make this and sell it and pretend that's what it does, but people would figure it out pretty quickly.
Well, we'll be out of town by then. I'll be back in the peaks.
I'm not sure we will. I think people would figure it out very quickly. I don't
it sounds like we're making a route here. I don't think we'll be leaving anytime soon.
All right. Well, that was all I had.
Well, I mean, Hula, you're pretty.
Just take ones.
Hula, you seem pretty capable with a weapon.
Yes, if we need to do mercenary hire, I can do that. But only if it's ethical.
You considered fighting, dueling, perhaps? You could be quite capable.
That would be one way to win a shard blade. Kill two birds with one shard.
You're also after a shard blade. Are you both after a shard blade, Hula and Alaran?
I think everyone here is, to be fair.
Nope.
But, no, not really.
Well, that is your problem, so.
I mean, it'd be interesting to study. I can't say that.
Then when I win mine, I'll let you study it.
Sounds good.
Neivien.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Just a correction, Neivien. I'm not after a shard blade. I have to return with a shard blade.
Oh, right. See what we can do about that then. Is there a timeline for getting that shard blade back?
Way quieter. Alaran leans in and says, "I was told not to come home without one."
Storms, Alaran, your father's a bit of a Kremling, isn't he? I was going to use a different word, but I switched to one with it. Still starts with C, but yeah. Yeah, he seems pretty.
Do you
awful.
want to go home, Alaran?
What do you feel like you still have something to prove?
Yeah, I mean, if your father's willing to kick you out and would rather a shard blade than his son.
Oh, no. He sent me to the Shattered Plains to prove myself.
I don't think he did, Alaran. There's no easy way to say this. I think he might have sent you here to... Like, you've seen the situation, what's going on here. Like, you don't have a blade. How are you supposed to win one off the Parshendi? Was that the plan? Because no Light Eyes is going to battle you with a blade on the line if you haven't got something of your own to put forward. And you showed me your pouch. That's not enough to wager against a shard blade. I think did he expect you to go fight the Parshendi?
Yeah, I think he said something along the lines of "by any means necessary."
Alaran, I don't want to be the one to say this, so I'm not going to. Someone else.
I don't think your father likes you.
That's not what I was going to say, but that kind of does run parallel to it, so I guess, yeah, thanks, Ztar. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah. I don't think he would like you either, Ztar, unfortunately.
I suspect he would like me waiting his table, cleaning his stables, perhaps, but I don't think who I really am or Tazi would be particularly welcome in your house. But the point I was trying to make remains. And again, it is your life. Find your path as you see fit. But is that really what you want, to return back to your family home with with the shard blade to have proved yourself to your father, or would you not rather prove yourself to yourself?
I don't know what that looks like.
Alaran's therapy lesson.
Yeah. Alaran's like still like piecing this together. He doesn't. You can tell that he's like trying to make these puzzle pieces fit, but he's motivated, not fully, but like partially by following instructions of other people that are senior to him.
Don't make a decision tonight. My advice: take a break, sleep on it, or at least try to. I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight after what happened last night, but let's give it a go. Have a sleep. Make a decision in the morning. No one's expecting us to answer now.
There's truth in those words.
Does
I
anyone
also know the people, the Parshendi that have the shard blades. I think you will struggle to beat one of them in a fight. Just
That's a really good point.
Your realistic expectations.
So you would know. It's hard. You would know these people, these Parshendi. I'm just now realizing.
I left years ago, but and Shona was already training with the blade. Then she was always earmarked for that. I think they had 3 blades.
I think there's actually more potentially.
Well, I know they found it. They found a chunk in Iraq, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were always our best, and while we don't, I'm no longer one. They don't have the same sword forms as the Aelthi. They are no less deadly than a full shard bearer with that blade. I think Inshona had plans to take the plate as well, so killing her, I don't recommend it, both as a self-preservation instinct or as a
serious
thing to do.
Narrative consequences.
Serious narrative consequences.
Well, actually, there wouldn't be serious narrative consequences. It'd just be like another Aelthi she cuts down on her way to the Blackthorn.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was also always one of the best of us. It would be like, I mean, I'm drawing a blank on an Aelthi that's actually worth.
I mean, it would be suicide by the sound of it.
Well, not even suicide. Even if you were to succeed, I would like to, for want of a better word, humanize them. But the shard bearers that live out on the plains are people. If you wouldn't stab a blade through my gem heart, then you wouldn't consider that they are people as well, holding those blades, defending their home. Is all.
I think 8 sets the Parshendi have, if my
8?
math is correct
Oh,
just there.
wow.
So fair few.
I mean, I would have lost a couple eventually to the Aelthi, though.
Yeah, the Aelthi have 50, I think it is, and there's 100 estimate that Dalinar thinks they might have. No, fucking Aelthi, right? Overachievers.
In the field of murder, yeah.
Ztar speaks words of wisdom. I think let's not put you in too much danger. Maybe just a little bit of danger by agreeing to do this examiner thing. Yeah.
I mean, we're all in danger in one way or another. Hopefully less danger now, but
Well, yeah.
what's a little bit more danger?
Let's get about it. We need money, and we need I suppose something to do while we try to find these assassins.
Checks out.
All right. To the Bethad camp.
You're already there. We described this. You're at the barracks.
We'll do it first thing in the morning. Sleepy time.
Sleepy time. All right. As you all head off to your respective bunks to go to sleep, Hula, I'm going to stick with you for a moment. As the others head to bed, you make your way over towards the bunk. This is your first night sleeping in this barracks. The high camp, the Bethab camp here, the war camp has been well stocked for the most part, but they are suspiciously low on soldiers at the moment, Hula. The Bethab warriors have suffered some losses recently, and one of the, or two of the main barrack buildings are almost completely empty. Which is where you guys are currently staying. This would have once been the home for soldiers fighting for Bethab's army, but it looks like, to your eyes and to your soldiers' instincts, they've suffered some losses in the recent past and have not yet had fresh meat come from the Bethab Princeton. So at the moment, you're currently staying in the rooms, the barracks of soldiers who've died on the Shattered Plains fighting the Parshendi. As you make your way into one of the rooms, the walls have been stone soul cast. You can see the telltale signs of where it's been, the two smooth edges, the right angles that are perfect. It's a dead giveaway that this has been soul cast stone. And as you make your way over to one of the bunks, begin to sit down, you notice movement again out of the corner of your eye, similar to when you were in the bunker, the storm shelter. And you watch as once again a tiny figure, roughly about like 15 centimeters tall. What's that, like 3 inches? My math is correct? 2 inches?
You say tiny, I say huge. Go on.
As this tiny figure pulls themselves free, stepping out from the wall. 1 second there's a perfectly smooth stone wall. The next second, they just step out. Perfectly formed, a tiny figure. Humanoid, wearing the clothes of, I'd say clothes very reminiscent of those of the Horn-Eater Peaks. And you watch as the figure dusts their hands off and looks up towards you, smiling a little bit as they do so.
Obviously, the Horn-Eaters revere Bren quite highly, so I'd probably be doing somewhat of like a Holy Cross sort of prayer towards it, being a bit reverent.
You watch as the smile broadens a little bit, the tiny stone spren enjoying the admiration. Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
You could talk, as the admiration sort of gets taken over by shock.
Well,
I must be going mad.
You humans seem to talk a lot. I figured why not do the same. Of course I can talk. You never met a peak sprint before.
Can't say that I have. Maybe all peak sprint can talk, and I just wasn't aware of that.
Maybe I'm just special. Could be.
But you seem awfully special to me.
Well, it's true. I've come a long way. Almost as far as you.
Yeah. So, what brings you all this way? Do you have much further to go?
Depends.
On?
You? Your decisions? What you choose to do?
Right. Well, I'm honoured with your presence, and you're observing me, finding me
How
worthy,
honoured?
I hope. Very honoured.
You watch as she
As
sort of
honoured
like
as
stands there,
Stormlight
crosses her arms, looks up at you as if, and cocks her head as if expecting. She wants to see how honoured she'd love to see.
I guess. Go down on all fours and do a little one of those ones.
As soon as you do, she immediately kicks your head, this little tiny stone foot kicking at your head. And she goes, "Stop that! That's too far. No. Stop that. No.
Oh, okay. Then dials it back a bit too far and just gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, that'll do for now.
Well, if there's any... What can I do for you? What do you need?
Don't know. Something on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. There's something you've got to do. I'm just kind of waiting for you to do it, you know?
Kind of. Not really.
Yeah, it's infuriating me too. I had such a clear idea at the peaks, and now it feels like it's gone away.
It's all the air down here. It's doing the same thing to my head.
Airsick lowlanders. All of them.
Everywhere.
It's frustrating. None of them show the proper respect. Do you know a woman screamed when I stepped out from her kitchen before? Full on screamed at me.
Oh.
How impolite is that?
Very. That's the worst response I could imagine for one such as yourself.
Called me a strange kremling. Me? Do I look like a kremling to you?
Philip pauses for a bit and then goes, no, not at all.
You want to try that a bit quicker next time?
I'll do my best, but I can't. Speak faster.
I'll be nice to you. The air down here's made your brain go all soft.
Yeah. Well, perhaps we can harden our brains together.
Maybe. But you've got work to do. Something you've got to do.
Well, there's only one way to do it, and I'll have to find out what that is.
You're doing some of it already. Almost. It's almost right, you know? It's like you're walking a path up the mountainside. And there are crossroads. Got to make the right decision. Which way to go. You understand?
Yes. Now I just need to find out what the correct path is. Perhaps you could help me.
Aye, I'm pretty good at that. You know, as a guide, back in Shadesbar.
Do I know what Shadesmar is?
Yeah, I would say that the Horneaters out of all of the... You would know it by a different name, perhaps, but it's not crazy that you would know the name Shadesmar. It's the realm of the spring, the realm of the gods, you would call it.
Yeah, got it. Well, yeah. All right, well, perhaps we can help each other find our minds and our path.
I'd like to. I think that's a great idea. You're working as part of a team. That's good. You're dependable for your friends. That's good. You like a challenge. That's good.
Yes. Yeah. Teamwork makes the dreams come true.
Yeah, something like that. But maybe less cringy?
Poor. I don't know about that, mate. That's all I've got.
Well,
you'll get used to it.
Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll move on. If you don't take the right path,
I'll find the path, as cringy as it is.
Losing your radiance friend to corporate cringe.
The temptation to have her just sink into the floor, just disappear. It was overwhelming just then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Make the right choices. Keep looking out for your friends. That's important. That's
cool.
good. That's good. I know that's good.
Yes. I'll look after them. I know they have my back as I'll have theirs.
Yeah, yeah. And then you watch as she sort of turns, looking back towards the wall, cocking her head. Interesting vein of... And then she steps back into the wall, following something only she can see as she vanishes back into the stonework, leaving behind a perfect cutout impression in 2 dimensions of her tiny body as she steps back through the stone wall again.
Well, yeah, I'd be still probably in shock a little bit, to be honest. Feeling kind of confused and sort of trying to ponder over what she could possibly have been, what path and what I'm doing right, trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong and not doing that.
I mean, Hula, you've been visited by a great spren, one of the gods. I mean, her words might be a bit confusing now, but you know they'll have wisdom later. They must do. There'll be something for you there.
Okay.
Something important.
Dwell on what I can do to improve to make her honor worthy.
Perfect. And with that, all of you go to sleep and benefit from a long rest. All of you may go through the process of a long rest. When you awaken, what is the plan?
Sounds
Should
like
we go
I think Neivien, Alaran, and Rav-eth are probably going to go get those contracts sorted.
And I guess Ztar and Hula can go I'm going to go hit up the markets, I guess, then see if I can hear anything. I don't feel super welcome with Bethab Blood Eyes.
That's fair. Hula, did you want to go with Ztar? Is there anything you'd want to do at the markets? Would you mention your strange interaction with the Spren to Hula?
Ooh.
Well, I'd mention mine to Ztar.
Yeah, that makes sense, because that's what I mean. Hula, would you mention that to Ztar? Sorry, if it looks like I'm juggling multiple things at once, I am also juggling a tiny dog who is ADHD to the max right now because he's 10 months old. I just caught him unplugging stuff from the wall. Slowly pulling plugs out. I'm like, do not learn how to do this. Absolutely not.
Don't worry.
Slippery slope.
Oh, then, so you then, Hula, were the other one that, that 420133769 was referring to.
I must be. Would you have relayed who? Or
I just would have led with that and it being overly confusing, and then if it's just us two,
because I'd be like, what? I'd kind of like get him to like kind of pop up onto my hand. Did it look like this? The Spren you described? It's okay. It's okay, friend. You can trust the Horn Eater. No, mine looked like a little rock person.
It's okay.
But I would be quite impressed by your summoning of it.
Does he pop up on my hand?
As you hold up your hand and say, like, it's okay, that we can trust the Horn Eater, you watch as a little patch of starlight moves down and appears in front, like opening like a rift in the sky. Right above your hands, this little tiny little tear in space. As the Spren looks out, Hula, just a Spren, a tiny god looking like a patch of starlight hovering in the air in front of you emerges, and you hear the voice echo from it. You said it looked like a person made of rock.
Yes. Peak Spren, to be specific.
Yes, Peak Spren. Curious. I did not think they would answer the call.
When you spoke, I assumed you meant more like yourself.
No, we would be in great danger if more of my kind were here. It would mean that I have been discovered. Perhaps there are others like myself, rebels. Renegades. There are more than just this Peak Spren. I had seen a cultivation Spren. This Peak Spren is news to me.
Interesting.
But we should find a way to help those that are coming forward, protect them from the danger that you mentioned.
Yes, all of you who bond Spren are in grave danger from my kind. And the one who leads us.
Oh, I'm popping back. Okay,
bye. Cool. See ya.
Well, that's I explained some of this earlier, but if that is true, Hula, if more of these Spren, if what 420133769 just said is true, that there was the call, then my people's gods are returning, and we have something bigger on our hands than these assassins. But I'm heading down to the market to see if I can find out anything more about them. Maybe that will lead us to something more there.
Yes.
You're welcome to join me, or if you have other business, feel free to go about it.
Yes. Join you I shall. No matter how big the threat is, we shall face it together as a team. Because teamwork makes the dreams come true.
You feel the severing of something that had only just begun to form. as the tiny bond, the beginnings, those first threads of connection are severed in an instant, Hula.
Just preemptively dead eyes itself so I can dodge that.
It's better this way for me and for you.
Right about forming the bond.
They were right. They were always right.
The humans are cringe.
Nothing is worth this pain.
Hearing the
Any more synergistic solutions from you, Hula, and there will be consequences.
That is
I'm laying
wise
that
words, Hula. I find that resonates deep within me. We should continue to say this is perhaps a team motto.
He's not your friend, Rory. He's not your friend. He's not trying to help you here. I just want you to remember that. He's actively working against you in this moment. There's nothing he'd like more than for you to pick a radiant path and then have it fall apart immediately.
Not true. Not true.
You don't even need to roll an insight check on that. Look at his fucking shit-eating grin. His little Wookiee face on his shirt. He knows. He knows what he's doing.
The real question is, was the Wookiee face always on the shirt today?
No, you've changed once.
Yeah, I've seen one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's go to the market.
Perfect.
All
Right, in that case then, let's jump over with Rav-eth and Alaran as the two of you, plus Neivien, head on over to the command center, the command building in the very center of the Bethab camp. As soon as you arrive at the gates, if you announce that you're there to speak with... well, actually, that's a good question. Who are you? Is the plan to meet with Darla, with Peligan, to go, try and speak straight to Bethab himself? What's your plan here?
Realistically, sorry, you go.
No, I was gonna say I think Darla was the one who had originally suggested the contract, so I would probably imagine that we would want to talk to her and maybe just negotiate the terms of the contract to see if we can get them on more of a less of a permanent and more of like a contractual limited period of time sort of arrangement.
Like active case duty rather than it's like, hey, we're going to take this job and this job.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think that's very fair. As you announce to the guards that you're there to meet with Bright Lady Darla, he disappears inside for a few moments, emerges later with confirmation that she was expecting you sometime today, and gestures you through into her office, the same place where you waited previously. As you make your way in and sit down, you wait for only a few moments. Yeah, you know what's going on. As you wait for only a few moments, Darla gestures to usher you into her quite well maintained office area. She welcomes you in, sits you down, offers you some water or a light wine if you like, maybe one of the lighter colors. I think orange is one of the less alcoholic ones, if I'm remembering correctly from my... Yeah, pink or orange, so not very strong. Just to help like speed on conversation. Before sitting down on the other side of her desk, lacing her fingers together. Very well. Have you made a decision with what you would like to do? Have you made any progress in your investigations?
Yes, but before we continue, we just want to talk some terms around the contract that we're talking about. Neivien has raised some good points about a good method of operation, and since the party that you spoke to last time were active survivors of an assassination attempt and witnesses to a crime, it is important that not all those names get penned to paper for this job.
I understand. Would you like to just stick with your name then, Alaran? Or maybe one or two of you, Neivien, Rav-eth? I take it the three of you are here as the representatives of your group?
We are, but it will be my name on the paper.
Your name alone. You understand, Alaran, that means that it will be your family name should something happen. I must warn you, in the interest of fairness, you will be taking on the burden of this if something were to go wrong. You alone.
I understand.
Okay. I am happy to work on that, and if you needed to have this be, you said this was more on a case-by-case basis, correct? You wanted to keep this more informal, to begin with at least.
Yes, I think that's beneficial for everyone involved. As you know, our biggest concern is that someone that was working within the house was involved in the incident.
Someone working within Bethab's camp.
As in the person who was in charge of our caravan.
Yes. Yes. I also agree, and one of the reasons why I'm more than happy to agree to my brother's proposal with having you work as examiner is that I do think potentially there are elements of Bethab's own war camp which are compromised. You are outsiders, unknown variables, and given that there has been active attempts to kill you, I at least think you'll be motivated enough to find out what happened, and I also trust that you're not involved. It's one of the reasons that I have proposed this idea. Yes, I will agree to this. We can keep this as an informal. There doesn't have to be any formal announcements. I will issue you with some sort of writ of authority that you can show to members of Bethab's guard, members of the other guards as well, the other high princes. Now, this will carry a lot less weight depending on whose camp you march into. If you were to try and march into Thanadel's war camp and announce that you were arresting the high prince or his protector, a piece of paper would do very little for you. But it may get you access to speak with people who otherwise would not speak with you. Maybe it will get you access to places. I use it as you need.
I think in the interest of uncovering the truth of all of this, then a writ such as what you suggest will be most beneficial.
Yes.
I would
in
also
addition,
like to...
You go.
I would like to advocate for another thing. I would like my associates here to have access to records and documentation within the camp.
Yes, of course. Anything you think might help you in your investigations, within reason, you have access to. If there's any of our scribes that you need to speak with, any records that they hold, any items on this within this building or within this area, apart from, war plans, obviously, and things like that, things of a sensitive nature, you have access to at least view. And if there's anything that you try to gain access to and can't, or is on that more sensitive list, then come speak with me or speak with my brother. We will do what we can to assist you. Perhaps have one of us or one of my scribes sit in with you or transcribe the information that you need. Yes, we can work with this. And for now, shall we just have this in place until you find out who was responsible for the caravan attack, and if there are any members of our camp working against us, working against High Prince Bethab. Is that agreeable?
That sounds good to me, but I will consult with Neivien and Rav-eth if there are any specific terms that you think are important to draw upon.
It doesn't seem like there's anything here that's too untoward. I did ask for access to libraries and records within the camp, and that seems to be amenable. So I don't see there being anything untoward. I'm in agreement.
You would need access to the... sorry, that's Neivien. You would need access to those to conduct your investigation, I would have thought. So please, any records that we have, you should be looking through. Absolutely.
Excellent. Neivien, did you have any concerns?
I just think that maybe it's best if we make sure that there's an exit clause if you need it. Something to if we don't find any evidence of traitors amongst the Bethab camp, maybe some sort of exit clause that's enough if we say that we can't find any evidence of them, and we've done hard enough work to show that we've investigated people. Would that be amenable to you, Bright Lady? You watch as Darla sort of nods, goes, I'm amenable to that. That is fair enough. If you have done the work and you find no names no evidence of any wrongdoing amongst our people, then I would deem that acceptable, of course.
There is just the sensitive topic of an allowance of spheres. Would that be granted to us under these conditions?
Yes, we would absolutely make sure you have access to resources in the process of conducting this investigation, and to help maintain your required lifestyle outside of that. You are, of course, welcome to stay. We are looking at organising some better rooms for you away from just the barracks, somewhere that's a bit more private, somewhere you can be a bit more safe. Those rooms should be ready by this evening, I believe, if all goes well. I will send a runner to find you and make sure you make your way there. Food, drink we can provide as well while you are staying within the camp. That is, again, no problem. We do this for visiting nobles and visiting dignitaries. We will continue that as if you are the same. In terms of an ongoing allowance, I'll have a bit of a discussion with what we can do, but we can definitely offer you a number of marks per week for the whole group. And it will be enough. A good amount for what you need. Excellent. Any additional expenses that you might require above and beyond this, come and speak with me, and one of my scribes will help work this out.
Oh, it sounds like we've come to an agreement then.
I wish you all the best of luck in your search. And, well, if there's anything I can help with, anything you need to talk discreetly about, you know where to find me. Or Pelican, we speak regularly. If there's anything we can do to help.
I know that the houses have stronger ties and alliances within themselves, and I just was curious for yourself, Lady Dyla, are there allies that you would believe for yourself are above reproach or can be trusted, or figures that you think are of concern that should be avoided or investigated specifically?
Well, figures that need to be investigated. Your leads have already sent you to House Thanadel. I would pursue that avenue as well. Bright Lady Ralanat, you have identified as a potential suspect. Given her position as leader of the caravan, I too have some questions for her. I would be starting on those pathways. In terms of other princedoms or other lords to avoid or to investigate, perhaps it is worth looking into Sadius's camp. The High Prince has been vocal as of late in opposition to a number of the other High Princes, and he has won a number of gem hearts recently using these new bridges, these tactics with his new bridges. I would investigate that. That is an interesting development. If you get a chance, I'm not sure how it's related, but could be worth a look into. Really, they are the main leads that I have for you at this time. If you're looking for evidence of criminal activity, Sabarial's war camp might have the answers. Sabarial runs a very loose, very unruly war camp. Unsavory elements from various other places tend to congregate there, even more so than the outer market. You may find answers in Sabarial's war camp. Now, do I think he's involved in this? Unlikely. But you may find what you're looking for there.
You wouldn't happen to have heard what occurred in the storm shelter in the outer market at all, would you have?
You watch as she smiles, a wry smile. Yes, I was wondering when you might bring that up. I did have an investigator, a guardsman, one Alindri, from the Colon Guards, approach to thank House Bethab and their investigators for their thorough work uncovering a unfortunate death within the storm shelter in the outer market. There has been some communication up the line. I believe a member of House Colon will be thanking you personally for assisting with that. I'm not sure who, but I have been assured that someone will be around to speak with you, to thank you. And offer some form of, reward.
Oh, excellent.
But I must say, the way you conducted yourselves reflected very well on House Bethab. So I thank you for that.
Excellent. It was good to test our skills in the field.
Indeed. And the Tashik information broker? I gather we don't have one in our employ?
No.
Okay. Very well. I was curious about that. I don't think this Alindri had any idea of my curiosity, but... well played.
There is another matter related to the storm shelter. It seems that a unfortunate ardent with some innovative work in the space was partially to blame for what had happened there, but her work and her intentions were sound and good, and I told her that when the time is right, that there would be an opportunity to come and seek support in that. It would be a great asset to House Bethab.
Indeed. I will keep an ear out. What was the name of this Ardent?
Kess.
Ardent Kess.
She has a workshop in the outer market.
I will keep an ear out for this Ardent. Members of the Ardentia, it's not something I can just go and claim. She may already have a sponsor or have a patron. It's a kind word for it, I would say, within another family. But I can make some inquiries. Perhaps if this information were to get out that she was involved in the unfortunate death that occurred in the storm shelter, her patron might drop her, giving us an opening to bring her over here. If you think her work is...
The concern was that she was being exploited by another Ardent that was responsible. He was cutting corners and co-opting her work. Her intent is
pure,
honorable.
I'll keep an ear out for this Ardent. Very good. Now, if you are happy to sign here, she slides over a piece of paper towards you, Alaran. Feel free to have your scribe Neivien read it first. You don't need to sign it now. If you sign this and bring it back to me at some point in the next day or so, I'll take it. We have a compact.
I kind of almost look to Neivien to be like, let's read it now. There's a sense of impatience from him of he wants to commit to this in this moment. He's heard good things and he wants to be working on this case anyway.
In that case, then, that's the cliffhanger I'm going to end on, because I'm going to make Raph roll to see if he finds anything in this contract that's untoward. I'm not going to do it for him.
I was going to say, because Rav could probably, hopefully, read it as well. And
I think we'll do that then. We'll have both of you read through and advise Alaran on his options. I think we'll do that next session. Brilliant. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up for today. We've already got our first Radiant Bond. We've got 3 of you well on the way to forming those bonds as well. So we'll have some cool Radiant talents begin to appear as time goes on as well. Very nice. I think this will be super fun. The next time we see your character art, I'm going to add just over your shoulder your little spren as you have now made your bond. I'll get your input on the star pattern that I've been working on. I'll send you the draft and we'll get your input on it. But I think I've got most of the design done for your high spren 420133769. We need to work on that for the love of God.
No, it sounds
for the love
good.
of honor.
It's elite.
Oh no. Well, that's where we're wrapping up for tonight. Maximum cringe. Is that the name of the episode? Oh, Words of Wisdom was also. That was who said that?
Ooh,
Someone, Neivien said that. Use that. Words of Wisdom was a great episode title. All right, let us get a raid going across for all the lovely people on Twitch. We're going to go and raid. Who is playing tonight? Who is our friends? No, none of our usual legends. That's okay. I'll find someone in the meantime. For everyone watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, and leave a comment. Otherwise, you will find your sphere pouch decidedly empty and bereft of heft. Bereft of Heft is also a good episode title, just saying.
That's great.
You will also find it
one.
Bereft of Heft. So make sure you do that so that you may find your sphere pouch bulging and fully stocked. We are going to go and raid Take a Long Rest. They are doing Enter the Feywild, which sounds like a really great D&D campaign. No one's doing Cosmere, so I can't raid a Cosmere channel, but that's okay. We'll find someone else who's playing Cosmere with us soon. Everyone, we will see you for Tales from the Yawning Portal tomorrow night, Return of the Giants on Wednesday night, and I've got more news about Mistborn coming very soon. So until then, everybody, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again soon. Until next time, farewell for now. Bye! See ya!
Bye.